All right, looks like we are live. Well, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're watching us live on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter, we'll start in a few seconds. I will add our guest to our live stream, and we'll get started right after. All right, let me get us started. Remove this. There we go. All right. Hello. Hello to my guests. Again, everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is a special day at a stock card. We just launched the Bowtie Nation Index on a stock cards platform in the Idea Center section. It's a unique day. It's a special day in the history of our company, but also I would say it's a very special day at for the retail investors. This is a unique product we launched for retail investors, and we're going to talk about why, what's the future would look like. Before I get into the story and why we launched this and what it is, let me introduce my guest. With me, I have Alex, founder and CEO of Index One, who is our partner in this launch. And I also have Joseph Hogue, who is the man behind the show, or the man of the hour, who actually is the owner and the provider of the strategy for the index. Joseph, do you want to say a quick hi and do a quick introduction, and we'll get to Alex right after.
Sure. Well, thanks, Hoda. Great being here. Sure. Come from an equity analyst background. I worked with venture capital analysis as well as private wealth management. And in 2014, saw that I wanted to work with regular investors, right? Main Street investors. Working as a venture capital analyst, as in private wealth management, you are secluded to only investing or only helping really that top 1%, right? Those accredited investors. And that's not where I come from. That's not who I wanted to work with. So I started with some blogs, moved over to YouTube in 2017 to really get that message out and that experience out to regular investors out there, and have loved it ever since.
Excellent. Thanks for being here. Alex, do you want to go next and talk about you and say hi to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, thanks Hoda for having me on, and hi to everyone who's watching. So I'm Alex Berg, and I'm the founder of Index One. I started my career in the fintech space, and about 3 or so years ago, I launched Index One, and our mission is really to enable more efficient and democratize indexing overall in the financial services space, both for institutionals and retail investors. And so what we've built is a tool which can allow for designing new indices, backtesting indices, and calculation and distribution of live indices. And this is what we've partnered on with both Hoda and Joseph on creating a new index, which we'll talk about a bit soon. But that's my intro. So back to you, Hoda.
Well, thanks so much. So if you don't know who StockCard is, StockCard.io is a platform for retail investors. We bring digestible investment insights to retail investors, to everyday investors. And we also bring curated ideas and model portfolios from top financial creators like Joseph Hogue here, so that retail investors can make better investment decisions and generate higher returns. And we help them avoid some of the common mistakes that maybe retail investors tend to make. And our goal is to help them become the best asset managers for their own portfolios using good data and good information and good insights, and also curated model portfolios and ideas. All right, let's jump into why are we here, and why this is a special, unique day for StockCard and the entire retail investing community or industry. We launched the Bowtie Nation Index in partnership with Joseph and Alex. And it all started from a little story I have to tell you. It's the conversation Joseph and I had a few, maybe several months ago, about how the investment products out there are never really built for retail investors. So retail investors tend to be the afterthought in launching investment products. It's always investment product out there like funds or ETFs out there or mutual funds are never really built for individual investors. They're first built to fit into a portfolio of a fund manager or a specific theme that is out there, and then they would offer that to retail investors. There's a lot of reason behind that, but the reality is when a retail investor goes and wants to pick an investment product out there, none of those things that are out there are specifically built for their needs. And a very good example of that is that Joseph and I were having a conversation around, if you were a retail investor, the majority of retail investors out there would look for side income, monthly side income. And when they want to go and invest in an ETF or a fund or find an index that help them solve that problem for them, monthly side income from investing, there's really not many options out there. And that's why it sparked this idea in us that we, as a community of technology platforms and creators, can come together and change that game for retail investors and build financial products or launch financial products that are built for retail investors by retail investors. I mean, financial creators are retail investors themselves. So that's the story behind the launch of Bowtie Nation Index. It's the very first step of a glorious future we're building together with Joseph, with Alex, and with other financial creators out there. And we're so excited to celebrate this and tell you about it with you today. All right, so with that, let me turn it to Joseph, and he can basically introduce the index, what he plans to do with the index, and what is this index supposed to do? And then we'll continue with a few other questions. If you are live watching us, please put your comments or questions on the screen. Actually, if you're on LinkedIn, in the LinkedIn comments, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, in the comment section, and our platform will pick it up, and I will get to your questions. If you're watching this after the live stream, please feel free to reach out to any of us, and we'll share our contact information at the end of the live stream so that we can answer your questions or continue the conversation. So with that, Joseph, go ahead and introduce Bowtie Nation Index and just tell us about what the strategy is, who it's built for, and basically just give us a high level view of what your goals are for the index.
Absolutely, would love to. And I don't know if I have the ability to share the screen here. If you want to look at that index, it's on Stock Card. You go to the Idea Center in the menu, and then you'll see indexes, and you'll see the BOWT, the Bowtie Index. And you can see all the factors that we go into selecting stocks for this index, as well as the back-tested results and a lot of other fun things, a lot of polls that we're surveying followers and things like that. And what I wanted to do here with this index was, more importantly, just kind of promote that transparency and accountability within social media influencers, within investing influencers that we so desperately need right now. I think over the last few years, especially, we are moving into the influencer era, right? Investors and people in general are no longer getting their news or their information from traditional news sources like the New York Times, the Bloomberg, that kind of thing. They are instead getting their news and getting their investment advice from influencers, from people just like them out on the internet. And I think it's a great shift into that democratization of information. But there's also a very big lack of transparency and accountability in that. All you have to do is look through TikTok over the last 2 years to see some of the advice given out by TikTokers and investors, and to know that it's not necessarily the best advice you ever heard, right? So we desperately need some kind of accountability and transparency in that advice and in that influencer community. And that's really what I wanted to do with this index, is be able to provide some kind of accountability to the stuff, the advice and the information that I give on my channel. And really let people have that sense of transparency that they need. So we put this index together, and it tracks the 500 largest companies in the United States, based in the United States. So that broad stock market index, but it goes a step further from that, right? It goes into really trying to pick the best of breed companies out of that. Over the last 10 years, really, we've seen a major shift in the stock market from value stocks to growth stocks, right? Traditionally, over the last 50 years, value stocks have outperformed growth stocks. Just over the last 10 years, though, that's shifted, and growth is now beating value. And it's yet to be determined which will outperform over the next 10 years. But I think investors are asking the wrong question in that. I think a lot of value stocks can outperform, and as well as a lot of growth stocks can outperform. What they need to be asking is, what are the best of breed companies in each of these themes, in value, in growth, and in other themes that they're investing in. So that's what we want to do with this index, is take those 500 largest companies based in the United States, that broad stock market index, invest across the sectors, the 11 stock sectors within those, and but then pick out the 10%, the top 10%, the top 1 in 10 companies out of each of those sectors to really get that performance edge on the market. So basically, we are tracking the market, the stock market, those 500 largest companies. We are tracking that by sector. So whether one particular sector goes up or down in the year won't really matter quite as much to the index, because it is very closely tracking, very closely following that sector, each sector of the economy. But it's picking the top 10% of companies out of each sector. So it's a great way to really remove some of the higher level factors from the economy out of stock picking. Whichever sector does well, we will have exposure to that sector, because we have market level exposure to every sector. Where we'll benefit, though, is by picking out those top 10, that top 10% of the companies, the really best of breed companies. And we've got a set of quantitative as well as qualitative factors that we're going to do that we can talk through.
Yeah, excellent. So as you were speaking and explaining the strategy, I pulled up the index page, and at the end of the live stream, we will give a quick demo so that everybody can see what we're talking about. But thanks for that introduction introduction to the index, Joseph. I want to turn it to Alex. And Alex, maybe first to start by explaining, what was your role, or what is your company's role in this creation of this index? And tell us about how do you envision your role in the creation of these creator-led indexes would be in the future?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the main thing that's unique here is the creator-led or influencer-led approach. And as Joseph mentioned earlier, there is a great need for transparency and accountability, and that's I think really where we come in and add value. So we provide a platform for designing and backtesting and calculating indices in a very sort of transparent way. So we act as a third party calculation agent. We calculate the index, distribute it, and there isn't really any, I guess it would be best to first describe what an index actually is, more than just a performance calculation. It's also in some ways an audit trail, if you will, of changes that have happened over time, weightings in the index, changes due to corporate actions, such as dividends, splits, delistings, and having us on board as a sort of third-party calculation agent allows anyone utilizing the index to have full transparency on the holdings, both historically and on an ongoing basis. and transparency on how the sort of index methodology is executed. So there isn't really any room for, I guess, any sort of foolery, so to speak, which you might see across the space with sort of cherry picking strategies or backfilling any holdings. This is pretty much as transparent as it gets. It's a real index that's being calculated in a legitimate way. So that's, I think, the main reason why this is truly unique, and I think it's a good, interesting product for the retail space in general. The other thing I guess I would mention is around the trends happening in the indexing space at the moment. So there's been a lot of focus on active indexing, so essentially discretionary strategies or indices managed by professionals, and that's really started showing it. If you look at the ETF space and mutual funds and structured products, different types of financial products are linked to indices, and that's, I think, why this is really interesting. Is this is kind of a first step to bringing the creator-led investment community into sort of the more, I would say, traditional or institutional finance space. Off the basis of this, there are opportunities to launch different types of products, use it as a benchmark. The sky is the limit, really.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And thanks, Alex, for that. So let's get into a quick conversation about what the future would look like. And I will basically share my perspective on this and the reason we are super excited. And then I'll pass it to Joseph to talk about what he plans to do in the future. And then we'll pass it to Alex as well. And then at the end, we'll just jump into a quick demo of the index, and we'll wrap it up at the end with any comments or questions there is. So one thing that is, as everybody said so far, is that this brings transparency and accountability to the creator economy in fintech space, which is what we're super excited about it. And the other thing that I wanna mention is that retail investing in general, from our point of view, when we look at the market and the trends that are out there, it's on the rise despite what's happening in the market at this moment. If you look at the trends out there, if you look at what are the technologies that are helping retail investors to invest better or invest in the market or participate in the capital markets, you'll see there is so much momentum behind retail investing. And one of those foundational momentum behind retail investing is the role of creator economies. The creators now becoming the center of trust. Creator communities online on YouTube, on Discord, on Facebook, or wherever the creator has his community, Reddit, that conversation about market and investing is happening in these retail communities, in this retail investor communities, with the creator who created their community. So why we're super excited about the future is that this index paves the path for launching financial products such as funds that mirror this index, or possibility of licensing the use of this strategy that is built for retail investors to other fund managers out there. So the possibilities of creating what we said at the beginning, products that are built for retail investors by retail investors, and it's based on the trust within a community that a financial creator has created, is the possibilities out there is tremendous, and that's why we're super excited. So I'll just quickly pass it to Joseph and Alex if they want to add anything about why they are personally excited about the future of creator branded indexes, and then at the end we'll just do a quick demo of the index page. Alex, maybe I go to you if there is anything that you want to add about what you see in terms of the future and the potential of the creator branded index. Please share.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I think I highlighted earlier my real sort of excitement from on this, stems from the fact that it is really a first in the indexing space. So if you look at the indexing market overall, it's controlled mainly by three major companies. They have very sort of traditional processes of how these indices are constructed, how they're brought into products, and they really don't include the retail investor in any part of that development process. And I think what you mentioned earlier, Hoda, around including the retail investor, it's incredibly important now with the rise of retail investing. There's great momentum behind it, and it's sort of long overdue at this point already to have a product like this, which is sort of created by retail for retail. And I think that's really my main source of excitement. And I'd mention as well that the transparency again is super important. And frankly, if you look at a lot of the investment products out there, they're very geared towards not so much serving the end investor, but raising AUM, raising capital. You see a lot of development around thematic indices or thematic products, which are sort of very hyped up, for lack of a better word. And here, we've got the experience of Joseph behind it, who's been in the space for a long time, and it's sort of I guess a much lacks the sort of conflict of interest that you see in the more traditional space. So yeah, very excited about this.
Perfect. Yes, thank you so much. Joseph, do you want to go next and just sort of talk about your own personal plan for the index and how you're going to get involved in the community and where you're taking the index as we basically pass the first day of launch?
Sure. No, just excited about the launch and what it means for the future. Like Alex said, that inclusion of Main Street investors, really the inspiration for launching the index, as well as any kind of products or funds in the future that they can actually be investable assets for them. Just the idea that they can find an index or a fund, a product in the future where they can track and really use as a part of their core portfolio. Not just the individual stocks within it, but the idea that they can, that with one fund or with one index, they can find the best of breed stocks, in the market.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So now it's the time to just give you a quick demo of the index page. We sort of shared the screen with you as we were talking, but I will go through it quickly and invite you to visit the index page when you get a chance to do it on the stock card. All right, let me share my screen. There's a few things on the index page that I'm personally very excited about. So let's go through that. Let me see if I share my screen properly here. Here we go. Okay, so the way you get to this page is you go to stockcard.io. And then here on top, we have Idea Center. We obviously have portfolios of the financial creators who partner with us. And a lot of our users also share their portfolios here. But we also have the new page, which is the indexes. For now, the only index that is available there is Joseph Hoag's Bowtie Nation Index, which if you click there, you'll be able to see it. And in the future, our plan is to partner with all other financial creators that partner with us to be able to launch their indexes here. So Come back 6 months here and you'll see several other indexes for different investment communities and financial creators out there who are sharing their portfolio or their ideas or the strategy here on the index page. And what I'm super excited about the index page here is that we talked about the transparency, obviously. You could see Joseph's strategy. There's this navigation panel available for you that you could basically go and see what are the quantitative and qualitative factors that Joseph or any creator basically consider to put this index together. Videos are basically Joseph's video. So he plans to introduce every constituent in the index and talk about why he invested in them or why he picked them up for the index. And you'll see all these videos here. Obviously, you can go to his YouTube channel on Let's Talk Money YouTube channel on YouTube and get to see those videos here. By the way, the link to Joseph's work is available up here if you want to go to his YouTube channel or his Facebook group. The part that I'm super excited about are the polls. This is a chance for the retail investors to get involved. And what we have right now is the beginning of something very unique. So right now you have a chance to share your opinions in terms of what other stocks or tickers you would consider to add to the index. This section will evolve to a council, into a very dynamic page where you as a follower of an index can basically participate, contribute your ideas, propose ideas. So keep an eye on it. For now, if you're coming here, make sure you answer the surveys. And in the future, you'll see there's a lot of more content here for you to get involved. Obviously, we've got Alex's widgets available, Alex's index funds widgets here on the website. These are all coming. We're not calculating them. These are independently calculated by Alex's company's technology, index fund technology. So we just get the feed from here, and then you see the weights, and then of course you see the index constituents here. And then as Joseph goes through the annual rebalancing or reviewing the constituents of the index, you'll see that there's things will be added here. Now we will basically adding the reasoning for why he's adding them here, and of course the videos will be here. So this would be a page for you to understand what this index is all about, and you get Joseph's ideas, and you can participate and share your own ideas, and we'll basically get started from there. If you are one of the 600,000 followers of Joseph, it's your chance to come and visit and follow his index here to get notified of the additions of the videos on his channel, on his index. And if you're not one of those followers, you should first follow him on YouTube, Let's Talk Money channel. And then also, secondly, come here and follow his index and be a part of this change or this exciting moment in the retail investing history. Well, with that, if there is any comments or question on from the audience, we'll take it. I think I saw a few comments here, maybe. Leroy asks, why did a stock card choose Republic for crowdfunding? Okay, so Leroy, that's a different question. We can talk about it later, but in case if people don't know, a stock card right now does a crowdfunding as an opportunity to give our community to invest in our company. And that's on Republic platform. So republic.com/stock card if you are interested in that. But Leroy, please ping me, and I will tell you the answer to that. Republic is obviously a great technology company, which we liked and we chose for our fundraising. Okay, excellent. If there is no other question from the audience, let's go and have a conversation about where can we find Joseph. Where can people find you if they have a question? How can they answer? How can they get in touch with you? And then right after Joseph, I'll pose the same question to Alex.
Sure. Well, love, as Hoda said, love to see everybody come to the YouTube channel. Let's Talk Money. Join the community there. We talk obviously about money and everything about money, from personal finance, budgeting, saving, but mostly about investing. Right? Where do you find those stocks, and how to really take advantage of that. Watch for future videos where I'll be talking about not just the individual stocks in the index, each one, and why we chose those, but also those quantitative as well as qualitative factors, how I'm picking stocks with these index, and how I believe that will help the index outperform the broader stock market in how we're positioning for that.
Excellent. Right. So if you haven't followed him, make sure to follow his YouTube channel. It's Let's Talk Money YouTube channel. And then if not, of course, you can also come to StockCard and follow him on StockCard. So I added here, Let's Talk Money YouTube channel. Thank you, Joseph. Alex, where can people find you if they have questions or if they want to build an index? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so best place is our website, index1.io, or you can find us on LinkedIn, or email us directly at contact@index1.io. And but yeah, on our website we've got tons of resources about what we do, how we can help build indices for various different use cases, and you'll find some indices we've published or partners have published, including the Bowtie Nation Index. So yeah, have a look there.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks for being a great partner in this launch with us. And we look forward to launching several other indexes with you. And if you don't know a StockCard, you have to go to stockcard.io and check it out. It's free to sign up. And obviously, would love you to follow Bowtie Nation Index on the Idea Center, or there's hundreds of other portfolios out there by other partners of ours on the StockCard. So please follow them. And I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter, Hoda Mer. You can always contact me directly. DMs are always open. Love to talk about future of retail investing, real future of fintech, and of course, future of Bowtie Nation Index. Thank you very much. If you watched live, we appreciate you spending 30 minutes with us. If you're watching the recording in later time, thank you. And don't forget to contact us if you have any questions. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Alex, for being with me. And have a great rest of your day.
Great. Thank you.